Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Natasha and this is week 5 of Nature's Walk weekend. First of all, I will say to you that I am dressed in the same thing as you saw me on Wednesday, but that's because I use the same clothes for all week. And if they need a wash, then I wash the midweek and wear the same thing because it's just totally easier for me because I don't have very much that fits me. So that's the way I'm rolling. This is Thursday evening and you will see this on Friday morning. So it only means one thing, and that is Friday. And it's the weekend. So I thought I would be filming up here today, just basically to give it a trial run because I'm not really sure how things are going to work. I have my tripod balancing on a box on my bed at the moment and I am perched right on the edge. Just basically mainly because I wanted you to see my work in progress yarn wall behind me, and it has my Scentsy friends as well as my crochet friends and some empty squares that are ready in the process to be filled up because, like I say, it is a work in progress. And I do have my basket of yarn that doesn't have any yarn bands sorry, down in a basket down there where you can't see, but I'm contemplating putting it back in the ones that need to be filled up and then leaving that as the section that I go to first. But I don't know how I want to work it, so that is how I'm leaving it for now. There is Mr. Lion that you saw on Wednesday just perching in my basket because I am yet to place him. And then if I just move my camera up slightly, you can see that I have some more Scentsy friends here, and I have my crochet friends and a Scentsy buddy there, and much the same there. I've also got them, and I'm sorry about the interference if you can hear my family. I did tell them I was doing a video, but they are being rather noisy. So if the camera picks it up, I'm sorry about that. Then I've got my some Scentsy friends and some there's a Scentsy friend and some yarny friends dotted around, and my donuts I have placed here, there and everywhere. So do have a closer look if you can manage it and see what donuts I have dotted around the place. Because I know there are some younger viewers, especially Arden and his sister Winry. They like to look in the background of my videos and see what I am, what they can see in the back. And so I thought I would make it more interesting. And just over my shoulder here, there's some. And just so basically have a look. I might be blocking it if I do this. You might be able to have a quick look. But anyway, I hope you are all fine and you've had some time to do some lovely crafting and some crocheting. I'm getting back into it slowly. I'm very, very pleased to be back. I would love to say to you all thank you so much for your messages of support and encouraging me along the way, because I really am so impressed with the fact that I am missed by everyone, and I'm glad that I keep you all company. Now, Nature's Walk, let's get on with it. We have got the way I left it last week. I say last week, no, over a month ago now. The last time I spoke to you was week 3, and I had managed to do the leaves, the flower, clover, and leaves, flower, clover, and that must have been it because that's all I put for that. But in week 1 I did buds, berries, butterfly and wheat, and sunshine. And then in week 2 I did gates and blossom, and then I'm not sure whether that's strictly true, but I've copied it out again, so I may well have done it wrong. And then I did gates and berries, like I say, and then the week 3 was the leaves, the clover, the flower and the blossom. Now week 4 I have managed to do 4 of them, and I've done the North Star, I've done the snowflake, the gates and the clover. So let me just squash that one. Oh no, not that one, that one over. And so we are well into the 3rd row now, and I've crossed that one, but I didn't mean to. I've got the flower, the sunshine, the snowflake and buds to do on the 3rd row to complete that. And I have used, or I am in the process of using Starcraft Special DK, for those of you that don't know. And I was watching Chris over at Loopy Loops UK. Hello Chris, it's lovely to have seen your progress on the Nature's Walk blanket, and you've inspired me because I was not one for the charts, not at all, and I was worried about it. I didn't know how to use them or anything, and when I saw it in the pattern I thought, oh no, don't want those, and I closed myself off. But you've encouraged me, Chris, honestly, to give them a go, and I messaged Sally and said I'm going to give the diagrams a go. Hi Sally, by the way, over at Nanny Moon. I messaged her and I said I'm going to give the diagrams a go. Anyway, I messaged her back and I said they are a game changer, an absolute game changer. So I went ahead and I copied off the amount of diagrams that I would need to complete it for every one of them, and then I put them all into rows. So for the row 3, let me just do that. For row 3, in my pile I can see that I have got the 4 left. Like we said, it was the flower, the sunshine, the snowflake and buds. Now I can choose any of them from there by looking at the diagram and thinking, yes, actually I'm gonna give that one a go, or whatever, and then it's just inspired me. So when I did my video last time, before I had my rather lengthy break because I've moved into this fabulous house, I said that I was just going to do 2 because these videos are meant to be fortnightly. Well, I've decided that if I manage to get some done, I will show you weekly, but if I don't, then these videos will be fortnightly as I'd originally planned. But I do want to get it done as soon as possible, because seeing Chris with all of those squares already done has spurred me on. Now I do have an awful lot of crochet things to get done. I've got baby blankets on the go, and I've got my squares, which I will be drawing at the weekend, rather ready for Monday, and different things like that. So I do have a lot more that I need to get done, but I am going to try my best. So if you see me next Friday, then you do, and if you don't, well then it will be the following Friday, and that's how I'm going to leave it. But should we just get on with it and see? Let me show you how I have been managing. Now this is the clover, and I used the colourway Sage. Now this one's quite lovely, and it was worked up quite well and quite quickly, even more so with the diagrams. I was very pleased, and it was very easy to do. Anyway, you can just see the pattern very easily in this one, and I am very pleased about the way that it can be seen, and not just you know, you don't need anything behind it to actually see the pattern. And again, it was lovely. I'm using a 4mm hook, and it's worked up really, really well. So I'll be looking forward to doing clover. I have already got a clover that I'd done in the previous rows, which was week 3. So I've done 2 of these, and I've got 2 left to go. So brilliant stuff. So yeah, so I've done that, and that is my first one. And then I have got the North Star to show you. Now the North Star, blimey, tricky as anything. Had to keep redoing it, just like Chris did when she said over on her video. So if you want to go over and see the video that Chris shows her Nature's Walk squares on, I will put it down in the description box below for you. But I'd done it wrong, and so I read the whole thing using the diagram, and it was so much easier, and I was just so happy. So I don't any longer dread it, and I am really, really pleased. Now this one, because of the coloration, I think I am going to show you, and you can just about see the shape, but just let me put it against here and see if that helps. Yes, that does help a little bit more, doesn't it? So yes, there is the North Star, and so for this one the colourway was mushroom, and again I used a 4mm hook for it, and I won't worry about doing the others now. And for that one I've done the North Star once. So I've got 1, 2, yeah, I've still got 3 more of those to do. But the North Star was the one that would have completed the first row of my blanket. So I'm glad that I managed to do that. And then I've got to show you the snowflake. Now the snowflake, I completed this one. This one was the one that would have completed the second row. So there is the snowflake, and again this is the first time I've done the snowflake. I've got 3 more of these to do, but again I'm not worried about it now, because I can look at the chart and just work it out from there, rather than trying to work out the complicatedness of the written pattern. It was actually putting me off the blanket, and so I am so glad that I did give the diagrams a go, and now I'm just feel like I'm spurred on and actually look forward to doing the squares now. So that's really, really good. And the colourway is silver for the snowflake, because I thought silver would be a really, really good colour representation of the snowflake. And then last but by no means least, this is my most favourite square, because I did actually say that the last time I did it, which was in week 2, which will be the 3rd video, because the first one was in the introduction, and this is the 5th video. So and that is Gates, and it is by far my favourite, and it's super easy. I managed it in about 35 minutes, and so I am super proud of the fact that I've managed it so quickly. I was on call to Sally at the time, and I said to her, in this amount of time I'm literally just on row 4 already, and I was so impressed by how fast that it worked up. And I think I would actually say that it was even faster with a diagram, because it was so easy to remember the repeat, and I didn't have to keep looking at the diagram either. So that was even better. And this one is mocha, I do believe. Let me just check on my yes, mocha, because on this one I've written all the colours that I've used, because I'm using the Starcraft Special DK, as I've said, and I tried to match it up as best as I could, and as I thought, in a sense of, well, gates are usually brown, especially garden gates that haven't been painted this lavish kind of shed colour kind of things. So I wanted to keep it as neutral as possible, because gates generally are a brown colour. And then the snowflake is obviously silvery, because I didn't really want to use white. Clover, I use sage because they do obviously tend to be green, and that's fine. And then the North Star, I use mushroom just because for me it was just the same kind of neutral colour without being too bright. As much as the North Star is bright, you kind of get to see what I mean in a sense of that. So that is my reasonings against my colour. I used Parma Violet, which I haven't got my colours up here to show you because they're downstairs. But Parma Violet I use for the flower. Mushroom, again, I used for North Star. Lincoln I used for leaves because it is a greeny colour, and I thought that would be fine. For the buds I use Pale Rose because rose buds do tend to be pink, or can be pink, as well as other colours. And then berries, I chose Grape because berries being dark. And then I also used Duck Egg for Butterfly just because I like the colour. And Camel, sorry, for Wheat because of it being the same colour as wheat. Sunshine, I used the colour Stone because it was very similar to Sunshine that I had within the colour palette that I was using. And I use Blossom for the Blossom squares. I use Powder Pink just because of Cherry Blossom, because that is pink. And that's what it reminded me of. And the blanket pack that I have took the inspiration from is the Dune blanket from the Attic 24, just because I love the colour palette. And if you go back to my introductory video, for those of you that have not yet followed my series on the Nature's Walk, I do introduce all of the colours on the very first one, but I thought I would touch upon it today just because I haven't done a video for over 4 or 5 weeks, and so I wanted to make sure that they were that you were all up to speed with it, really. And so I just, because of the fact that I was like I say, in favour of the diagrams, I have got all of the diagrams here printed, and then once I'm done I can literally I can mark it to follow where I'm going, and then put it in the recycling, and then the pile will get smaller and smaller, and I know then that I am really, really close to it, to the finish of it. And the border, I was actually thinking, before Chris said it, I was actually thinking of doing the heart border as well as Chris, but I wasn't sure, and I didn't know how it was going to pan out. But now that I've seen the chart for it, I think it would be a very nice touch, but I don't know what colour I'm doing it yet either, so I'm really not sure, but I really would love to do it. So I'm not copying Chris, I am just taking the inspiration from you, because I do really like it, and it is a lot easier to understand than the border, because I did actually copy the border. It's here somewhere. Let me just go to berries, row 8, hold on, row 8. Oh, maybe I haven't put it in this section then. Maybe I left it downstairs. Hold on. Let me just see. 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. Oh, yes, well, I must have left it downstairs. Anyway, never mind. So that brings me up to speed with you knowing where I'm at with the things. Now, I'm not sure, but just under here, if you see my other pin board with the other squares on it, that is what all the squares that I've managed to do. So, Chris, it's nowhere near as many as yours, but I will soon catch up with you. Let me just get it a minute so then I can put these on it, and then I've got this one spare for when I start again. So if you just hold on a second. There we go. But yes, as you can see, I've got them all piled up on there, and that's the ones. It's lovely. You can see the colours that will be building through my blanket, so I am looking forward to actually piecing it together. I'm dreading actually joining them, but I'm looking forward to what they're going to look like all together. To me, looking from this way, it looks a bit like a pile of waffles. But there I go, thinking about food again. Anyway, never mind. So I am going to go because I've been talking to you for over 20 minutes now. And I'm so glad to have been here. I'm just doing it, that's why I'm looking down, because I'm just putting it on so that they can block with the rest of them. Oh, it's getting caught. So I hope you do all have a lovely weekend, and I will be back again on Monday. Not sure that I have a lot to show, but if I don't have a lot of crochet things to show, I do have a few things that I want to talk to you about, so I will leave that for then. And as long as I show my face, I suppose it doesn't matter whether I've got lots to show you or not. But I will get back into the pattern of doing my videos regularly, and that's all that matters at the moment, isn't it? Because I need to get back into the regular rhythm like I used to, and I do love it. So I'm almost done putting them on. Then I will show you it all together. And that way I can put it away at the same time. So that one there is a bit bigger than the rest. Not quite sure what's going to go on there, but maybe it just needs a bit of tightening. Okay, so the last one, North Star. Do let me know what you think in the comment box below, and also let me know if you prefer diagrams or the written instructions. I do find that Sandra Paul's instructions are quite difficult to read, but then I do think that that's maybe just the way she explains it. There's nothing wrong with that, but I do feel like I do get quite confused, and I have to keep reading over it, and then I just end up confusing myself even more. So I am pleased that I have got the diagrams now and I know how to work it. They are very clear and I am very pleased to her for that. But there, that apart from the ends, it is coming along. And hopefully next time you'll see some of the other pink ones as well, so that there's a bit of pop of colour. So it's getting bigger and bigger, so I'm really pleased about that. And also soon I'll be able to take them off altogether, and then I can hopefully leave them and they won't get too out of shape. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again on Monday. Take care, everyone. Love to you all. Bye.